This is General Booty. I'm here with Josh Booty and Coach Mazzone with Win the Weekend.
Boola, the new social challenge app that'll change the way you and your buddies challenge or dare each other, is finally here.
We're totally gonna win! Nah, man, I'm putting a Boola on it. Loser has to wear my sister's tutu.
Just put a Boola on.
I'm in!
You can challenge your friends, your enemies, or even a complete stranger to anything, anytime, anywhere. The best part is, the app will hold you accountable.
The Boola's official. You can't back out now.
Bro, he's wearing a tutu?
Yeah, everyone's seeing it, dude. I can't believe it.
Boola, Boola! Boola, make life fun.
Hey guys, we're pumped to be back for another show at Win the Weekend. We're here with Coach Noel Mazzone, right straight from Scottsdale, Arizona. We got a special guest to do family for me. And Noel's like family, Coach is like family. He's a full deal, meal deal package. Okay. We got General Booty with us today, Coach.
Yeah. You always call me, I'm that older brother or old uncle that hangs around all the time, right?
You're another Booty. You just didn't know it.
I didn't know it.
No, it's good to have General here with us, and of course, another episode of Win the Weekend. And we've come out with a couple of great shows lately, and I'm excited because college football season just ended. Georgia put a whooping on TCU, of course, Big 12 TCU. But we start turning our minds and heads to recruiting, NIL stuff in general. Is at the University of Oklahoma. So we want to talk to him a little bit about how he's building his brand, how players build their brand. Talk a little bit about Coach Brent Venables, BV, and Levy there at Oklahoma, and just really kind of break bread and talk football. It's good to have you, Jen. I appreciate you joining us, bud.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. Well, tell me a little bit about the offseason, how it's going. Now, I know because I'm family, I'm Uncle Josh, but tell me a little bit about the bowl preparation. I heard you broke your finger. Tell the listeners a little bit about how that happened and what you're doing to try to get over that.
Yep. So bowl week, we were out in Orlando for the Cheez-It Bowl playing Florida State. Last practice in a team setting, just kind of was throwing, and D lineman got real close and hit my hand on his helmet. So unfortunately broke my throwing hand, my index finger, but coming back, doing rehab right now. Got my cast off, so things are looking good.
I'm going to tell you, General, if you go check every quarterback that's ever played quarterback, they're either going to have this finger is going to be broken, or this thumb. I did my thumb right there. Right? You know what that tells me? That tells me you hung in the pocket, bro. Right? It told me you hung in there and let the ball go with a guy bearing down on you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, dealing with some of that defensive line heat, right? I mean, that's part of being a quarterback, and you're finding that out firsthand. Of course, being playing in the big D1 program, and I'm of course happy that you're getting that opportunity. Tell us a little bit about Coach Venables and Levy and the state of the program. I know the season didn't go as well as they would have liked and the players would have liked, but y'all picked up a top 5 recruiting class in the country. Of course, got a lot of defensive players, which I think you guys really need to commit and sign and are coming to Norman.
Yeah, no, we came back strong in the recruiting class. Obviously, the high school guys coming in excited. A lot of them are going to be here tomorrow, I believe, coming in early. And then the portal was big for us too. Like you said, we picked up a bunch of defensive guys, which is going to help us for sure, and some offensive additions as well. We're really excited. So we're starting up Tuesday into the off season, kind of our running, lifting, getting back into things. We've had a little bit of a break, which was good. I think me and you even talked about it a couple of days ago. Season didn't quite go as the way we wanted, but I think most of our losses were within 3 to 7 points. So they're really close. Could have went either way. We didn't find a way to win at the end of them, which was hurt us obviously, but we were really close to turning around, and going from a season that fans really didn't expect, or Oklahoma hasn't had in a while, to having a really good season. So that's what we're looking to do, is turn around this year.
Yeah, I was going to ask Coach a little bit about that. Of course, he coached Division I and NFL for 20, 30 years. And how do you try to rebound, Coach, from, a season that was, mediocre at best, but, you got a good recruiting class coming in and trying to just build the culture with a new staff. I mean, there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts at Oklahoma. from last year, and they'll have some turnover. Of course, they lost some guys in the transfer portal, and that's a big issue now too in college football.
I mean, college football has become so fluid. No longer are the days of let's sign General Booty comes in as a freshman, plays a little scout team, right? Maybe a sophomore year, he redshirts. Maybe he has to play another little scout team for a year. And I can remember going into college when I went to a team in college. It was like, oh man, if I can work hard, I possibly can get on the field when I'm a junior, right? Now it's not like that. It's just guys move in, right? Everything is fluid. There's a big turnover with the portal. There's a big, with recruiting. There's so many now instead of General coming up in the spring, right? And knowing that he's got, or next season, say two-a-days, he's going to have 25 true freshmen on the field he's competing against. Guess what? He may only have 10 true freshmen, and the rest of them are portal guys or transfer guys that are fourth, fifth, sixth-year guys that came into the program. I know Lincoln's made Sonny Dykes, Lincoln, all those guys make living off of those kind of bounce back. I'm not going to call them bounce back, but they're just kids that, they were the backup at Ohio State, or maybe somebody wasn't paying them enough money in their NIL, and somebody was going to pay them more. So they decided to look at a different college. So it's so much harder as there's not that normal progression of the college athlete that they're used to. Every year, General is going to be different. The whole quarterback room could be different next year. You don't know, right? Different guys, different quarterbacks in there because there's such a heavy turnover.
Yeah, you back in the day when I played too, of course, in the late 90s, early 2000s, you knew who you were going to have. 85% of the players came from the high schools up into the program, right? And you'd have some JC guys that didn't qualify, and you'd pick up 2 or 3. But if you weren't Mississippi State, who picked up 20 every year, you wouldn't have that many JC guys. Now, General took the JC route, and everybody there, at these big D1 programs have taken all these different types of routes when that used to not be the case, especially if you're an in-state guy, you sign with your in-state school, everybody, you played against them. Now these kids are coming from all over the country into your program and feeding in like crazy. And so, General, of course, he played at 4 different high schools. Tell us a little bit about your journey, General, and then your JC year, and then getting to Oklahoma and being there in a big time setting with a new coach. I mean, tell us a little bit about that and how your journey. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
So my journey was a little bit crazy. Obviously, y'all both know, but 4 different high schools. Started off in California at Corona Del Mar my freshman year. Played freshman ball there. Had a blast. Ended up moving down to Texas, San Antonio. Got to play at Cornerstone Christian. My dad actually was the coach there. Josh coached there, quarterbacks as well. So that was a whole lot of fun. Some good time we got to spend together, and ended up moving back out to California, played in the Trinity League, played for Jay Sarah, so got to play the Mater Dei, the Boscos, all the good teams out there.
General, you remember when I bounced over there and watched your play?
Oh yeah. I remember that just like the other day.
I think it was Taylor and I.
Yep. You and Taylor came early in the summer. Came over. That was a lot of fun. And got to spend the day with us. So that was good. And then after that, COVID hit, and moved down to Texas to play ball because no one was playing ball really. And Texas said they were playing, and went to Allen, another powerhouse in Texas, which is a fun experience for sure. They definitely care about their football down there, and had a really great season. With COVID and moving around a lot, didn't have a lot of opportunities. So took the JC route, ended up in Tyler, Texas, which was also fun. I had a family friend that was the OC there. So we got to sling it around a lot, got a lot of reps, just had a lot of fun down there, and got to play ball another year and start right away. So that was good, and had a really good season, led the nation in passing yards, and Coach Levy came down for our spring ball, and then got the opportunity to go to Oklahoma, and it's been great.
Hey, tell them the truth, though, General. Your life didn't really change until you were on the field training with Josh and I in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, yeah. That was the turning point right there.
That changed your whole life, didn't it?
It did. I was going through photos the other day on my phone. You know how the 1 year ago today pop up, and it was all of us out in Arizona working working hard out on the field, trying to get that short stride down.
Quick step, short step, right, General?
Yep.
It was probably that 80-degree perfect weather with in Old Town hanging out. That's probably what turned your life around. No, it's awesome. Well, we're talking about your road and everybody's kind of road to get there, but a lot of these players are making some bread, right, to go to schools, and the NIL deals are strong. The schools are providing some of these deals to the players to get them there, and it's a different world, man. I didn't have that. Coach didn't have that. It's really just starting to happen at a different level, and that's what everybody's talking about. So we wanted to pick your brain a little bit on the NIL, how that all works. Do you have a marketing guy? Do you have an agent? And how that all works, and then what do other guys have, and how does that differ from maybe a teammate, or what what happens with them, or what they're getting, or what they can get, just that different types of stuff.
Right. Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. I mean, if you have a name, or you made a name for yourself on the field, whether it's in high school and you're a 5-star recruit, or you've made a name for yourself college ball and you're no one coming in, I mean, you can do as much as you want to do, basically with connections. As far as if you're at a big school, I have a guy, Pete Miller, that helps me out. Most schools now are starting to give the players, like, I guess you'd call them agents, or someone to help them out and help them get deals. There's a lot of the thing right now is collectives. Like at Oklahoma, we have the Crimson and Cream NIL collective, which is not part of Oklahoma. It's another almost business, whatever, and they help us reach out to places around, like Canes is about to open up around the corner here in a month. I'm going to go show up there and sign some footballs and help out, and they'll give me a little money for doing that and meeting people up at the store. So it's just kind of like reaching out in the community and helping you find stuff to do. And then obviously if you have your own connections and want to go outside of the community, it's as much as you can do. I think this year that has really pressed it. Last year you started to see some people do some cool NIL stuff, and even guys sign and make some money. But this year, once this transfer portal's hit, I've had multiple friends that have hit the portal and are ending up somewhere else, and they're getting lots of money through the NIL clubs.
Hey, General, I got a question. I've wondered this.
Yeah.
Does the NIL, all right, affect your locker room at all?
I think it does, for sure. For some guys, especially. If some guys are coming in that are making X amount, I think people definitely look at them differently. And I feel like there's not as much loyalty anymore either with guys in the locker room. And you know what? It sounds bad, but I think I would think it's gonna have to change here soon, because say someone says you're gonna get $50,000 up front to come to the school. A lot of guys, not that they stop working, but I feel like they don't work as hard. They got their $50,000 guaranteed. They're gonna show up and do their job. What happens when a school all of a sudden offers someone $100,000 and they show up and they're a dud?
Well, yeah. I would think. I could just see all the different ramifications. If I'm a 4-star guy and I come in anyway, you have that pressure of being a 4-star, right? But now you're a 4-star they're paying $200,000 a year to catch footballs, and you drop a couple in a game. That's even more added pressure, right, on him, because your teammates are going, "Hey, bro, what's the deal? They're paying you $200,000 for that bullshit," right? So, I could just see all the different stuff that could play out and affect your team, outside of just playing football.
Right. There's a lot of different ways now. And then some guys come in and get their money, and they're playing the game, for money, not really for love. So they have no motive to work as hard anymore. Some guys are perfectly fine and can come in and work even harder, So it adds a lot more to your locker room on top of everything else you already got to handle.
I think that to be. Go ahead.
Just kind of on that same line, Josh, is that this is always fascinating because I didn't go through that, right? You didn't go through that. It's like, As a coach too, if I'm now I've got to worry about, okay, the guys are making money and I got to deal with all the different personalities and how that affects my locker room. And then the next thing I got to deal with is the portal. Okay. So I got to keep General happy, right? Mm-hmm. If I know, hey, one day this guy is going to win us a Big 12 championship, but it's not right now. It might be next year or the year down the road. I got to keep him happy so he doesn't bounce on me because he's saying, hey, I ain't getting to play. I can go to Kansas and play, or I can go someplace else and play. I'm going to leave. So as a coach, I've got to recruit you almost every day.
Right. Right. It's not like they get you on campus, signed, sealed, and delivered. You're there for good anymore. I mean, it's like you said, it's recruiting every day, every year, almost making sure they're coming back. You're staying happy. Your relationship's good. It makes it tough for sure.
Yeah, there's no way I could do that, Josh. That would mean I'd have to be nice to General every day, right? I mean, I can remember playing, and I was excited, like in my second year when the offensive coordinator actually knew my first name, right?
You were yelling at me after the first few plays of the USA game, and I'm 46 years old. You were yelling at me. I'm like, wait a minute, man, I didn't sign up for this. No, the transfer portal. I mean, really, you have to check the maturity level of your players at all time. I mean, bringing a guy in or recruiting a guy, it's like, are they going to be able to be mature enough to handle the 50,000 or the 100,000 or the big NIL deals? It's like you want to build a good program, and you got to have the athletes, and a lot of them are, not mature players or not mature kids. They come from all kind of backgrounds. They've never had a pot to piss in, and then you pay them $100,000. I mean, the maturity level of a kid, trying to bring kids along, there's a lot to that at the college level. And at the NFL, they've already gone through the college years, being away from home, being away from mom. But the college years are so vital. It's almost like the minor leagues, right? Now you guys are like the minor leagues. And I went through the minor leagues, right? I got paid. Now I've had 19 years. I was 19 years old and had some money. That's what's happening to these guys now. Like a Quinn Ewers, that went to Ohio State and collected money, NIL money there for when it's time for the Buckeyes there or with the Buckeyes, and then he goes to Texas, and I'm sure it happened twice for him in 2 years. Now he gets more NIL money, so he double dipped. So you got that going too for some of these kids that are that age. It's like getting 2 signing bonuses, and the kid, what's his name, Lava Mayer or whatever, that's going to Tennessee. Yeah. It's hard to pronounce his name, but he got $8 million is what they're saying. And it's a 3 or 4 year deal. He's got to stay there to make it happen, but he's going to a program where he should have success. Heupel's great there. There's just a lot of moving parts of this transfer portal deal, too.
Yeah. Well, do they, hey, General, do they offer any financial education for you guys?
We do, Coach.
I mean, because I'm just thinking if I know some of the guys that played for me, if they gave them $200,000 at the beginning of the year, there's no way across their mind that they would have to pay taxes on that. That's so right. Okay. Yeah. So at the end of the year, that $200,000 would be gone. Okay. Right. And then they're going to get stuck paying $80,000 worth of taxes. And they're going to go, what?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, Coach BB's done a great job about that. We actually have a whole team called Soul Mission that not only helps us out with stuff like that, our financial literacy, they'll help us do our taxes if we go in there, but just other stuff like, we wear suits on the plane and stuff, like how to tie a tie, how to make your own portfolio, stuff like that. So that's been really cool to see him do, because that's kind of investing in us outside of football, as well. So that's been a really cool program and something I've really been.
Well, what your Uncle Josh didn't tell you is that the SEC had NIL program back when we were playing, and he never had to pay taxes because the payment came in brown paper bags.
I wish that was the case.
In the back of a car.
That only happened at Auburn where you were at, man. That didn't happen. That only happened at Ole Miss and Auburn, man. You guys are shady over there. I love it. I wondered a question about the transfer portal. When things aren't going good, this year you guys lose a couple back-to-back ball games, and you're 500, and you're the chance of being in a playoff situation or something goes awry. Do you still start hearing rumblings from players in the locker room like, man, they're not catching enough balls, or they're not making enough tackles, or they're not playing enough? Man, I'm gonna just go somewhere else. Man, I'm just go somewhere else, because I could hear that happening in a locker room. I could see it happening. I just don't know if it is, but these kids know that they can go play for somebody else the next year. And if they don't like their situation, they can bounce. And that's part of why Coach Noel said, you got to recruit these guys every day. But man, I wouldn't want to have to deal with my player telling me he didn't want to be on my team, because we're working hard together to conquer a goal or accomplish a goal. Does that stuff, do you hear some of that stuff?
And we did a really good job this year, and I think we became pretty close. But guys definitely do get emotional. And, someone that was a starter last year that maybe is not playing as much or not catches many balls or as many tackles or seeing the field like they want, people start talking, all the guys in the locker room back and forth to hear people's, they may hit the portal, or they may do this. So, yeah, there's some stuff going on, but no one ever directly is coming straight out going, hey, man, and if I don't start this game and catching 5 balls or getting this many touches or this many tackles or whatever, I'm hitting the portal, I'm gone. There's no one threatening that for us this year. Now, maybe other places it did where the culture is bad, but we did a pretty good job handling with that. But, people get emotional. So, I mean, yeah, there's some talks and stuff you'll hear.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Hey, so I got to know this, General. All right. Yeah. How did my boy Robert Conchal do? All right. Can he really snap a football? Tell me. We got him going at the end of the year. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little light at first. The ball's come back a little light, but he really started working on it, and by the end of the year, he was money. Was he?
And he's my man, Robert. I love him. He's got a great sense of humor, but also a super hard worker and loves ball. So I love being around him.
Yeah, I found him. I was recruiting a linebacker named Santino Marchio at IMG, and I walked out of the offices, and Robert Conchal was sitting on a bench, right? And he's freaking huge, right?
Oh yeah,
he's like a door. He's just a block, right? And I got him to A&M. Then when we left A&M and went to Arizona, he followed me to Arizona, and then he ended up at Oklahoma, and I mean, he loved it. Every time I talked to him, I think he's getting his double major in business or something, and going to try to take a shot at the league. So no, Robert's my guy.
Yeah, no.
Have you been up to his place in Colorado?
I haven't yet.
You got to do that. Yeah,
I'll check it out. Yeah, no, we definitely talked about you. I told him I was a close friend, and he had nothing but great things to say. He said, "Was playing for you."
That's awesome, man. Well, in today's world, social is so big, Jen, and you've got a great social presence. Of course, got one of the best names in the history of college football, but you created a brand. You're doing some awesome things for charity, for the Children's Hospital. Tell us a little bit about that and where we can even find you on social so that the listeners, can see some of the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, all my socials at General Booty for Instagram, Twitter is my main ones I use, and then my website is generalbootyshop.com. I have a lot of T-shirts and some fun merchandise on there, and 20% of the profits go to the Children's Hospital here in Oklahoma. So that was something we partnered with them. It's pretty cool. Get to go up there and see the kids and hang out about once a month. So that's been fun.
That's awesome, brother. Well, man, we wish you the best of luck. I appreciate
Wait, Josh. I'm not done. I want to know where we're standing right now. Right? Are you going to be back for spring ball?
I'll be back for spring ball. Yeah.
Okay, where are we standing as far as competition at the quarterback spot?
Yep. So our starter this year, Dylan Gabriels, he's coming back for his last year, so he'll be back. Davis Bevel will be back in the QB room, and we have.
Is he the big guy? Is he the big?
Yep.
Fullback looking guy.
Yeah, real tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually my roommate. We've become pretty close, and then Jackson Arnold is coming from Denton Geyer High School. He's coming in, and we had two other quarterbacks hit the portal. They're out of here. So we lost 2 guys, and then we may have one of them making a switch to another position. I'm not sure. I think he's still kind of deciding.
So there's a great opportunity this spring, right?
Yep. Yes, sir.
There's only three of you guys in the QB room,
right?
That are going to get snaps. So hey, just let Josh and I know when you need to come back to Scottsdale. We'll fine tune it a little bit. All right.
We'll tune it up. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We can tune it up and give you some more nuggets. But you know what? You've done a good job to get to where you're at, man. We're excited. I'm excited.
Are we gonna talk about his shirts? He's got the best t-shirts.
Well, I saw Noel's wife Heidi wearing one of your shirts the other day when I walked down the step. We were there at the national championship doing media row. We're staying at one of our buddies' homes, and I walked down the steps for coffee, and she's wearing I love booty shirts. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! I love this stuff, dude.
Yeah, no, we got pretty creative with it. And sorry it took so long to get you some of the shirts, but I had to get them sent over your way. Make sure you got.
Appreciate it.
I want one of those hats you got right there, the end zone.
Well, I'm sure we can make a change. We can make a trade here.
Make a trade.
Yes. Yeah, we'll make a little trade.
So at the end of every episode, we're going to have a Bula challenge with our special guest. General, the question is, can you guess my co-host Noel Mazzone's favorite 3 NFL quarterbacks in no necessary order? His favorite 3 quarterbacks in the NFL for some Bula gear. Ready, go.
That's a real good question. To start off, we're going with Joe Shiesty, one of the most accurate in the game right now. Second, we're going to go with our big boy Herbert, Justin Herbert. I know he lost in the playoffs this year, but absolute stud. Finally, we're going to go with Aaron Rodgers, one of the best arm talents still in the league. Not a great season this season, but an all-around stud.
Coach Mazzone here with Win the Weekend. Top 3 quarterbacks, General. Well, I gotta go with my boy Joe Burrow. Cincinnati came in and just changed the whole franchise around. All right. But the thing I always look at is, all right, what's a successful quarterback? Guy that wins football games. All right. So I gotta go with Patrick Mahomes, all right, has showed up there and just taken Kansas City every year. They're in the hunt. And I also look at Jalen Hurts, right, from the Philadelphia Eagles. I like his style of play. I like his attitude. I like how he throws it, runs it. He does everything. He's the Swiss Army knife of quarterbacks for that team. All right. So, General, sorry, bro. 1 out of 3.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you joining us, man. This is a lot of fun for us. And of course, Noel, having gotten coached you already, and we'll, of course, he'll be watching you close as well as I, and I'll be at a bunch of ball games. But I appreciate you joining us, and thanks a lot, man.
General, thanks. Hey, I'm kind of looking at this way. The next time you'll be in Scottsdale is Josh and I will be fine-tuning you for your pro day for the combine.
Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, yeah, up at the brand new facility.